So these are some prompts, simple. I'll just read them and read what I wrote, and you're welcome to write them down or just get triggered for inquiry or be, stimulated by what I think. Okay, where can I number my days more wisely? This is from my Living Deeply class from Neely Weissman, who I met through Romamu when I used to be a member there. Even though I feel like in some ways I still have benefits of the membership. And perhaps I'm still a member, who knows? So where can I number my days more wisely? My actions speak louder than my words. How do we know that? My distractions. Actions. I expose myself and my blind spots to people. I don't need to waste time covering up or trying to be something I'm not. I can also stop obsessing about the masculine and feminine as a way of understanding reunion. It's one of the cruder, physical, like the origins, primitive, prime-based, like descriptions. Body, soma, right? It's like a cell, a life appearance with like inside. So there's like cells inside, and then there's organs with cells inside, and then there's tissues with cells inside, and then the cells with little microcellular stuff inside, and even then tiny little mitochondria inside. So it's composition as per the nature of the structure of this reality of this birthing eggs system. And instead I could focus that energy on into integrating and acting it out, trusting my feminine, right? In a way, to express reality. And then the next prompt is, what does shyness mean to me? Not doing it if it's not going to be ever perfect. Blaming Hashem, God, source, rather than any human. Only letting my hair down to freely dance alone. And I'm going to add and sing. Not wanting to say no if the person feels like my yes really matters. Hiding my gifts, quick ease, magic, like fluidity, creativity, big picture, coherent mindedness, and even my writings, like I'm so private here on this channel, even though some of the stuff is so gold, not needing everyone to know what it is as the reason for being the channel for it, rather just doing it because it needs to come out somehow. Protecting myself from exposure to crudeness, for example. What is the untainted seal, cruse of oil with the seal of the Holy Great Priest? This is commemorating the holiday of Hanukkah. So I'm like connecting with it because it's the new month of Kislev, which Hanukkah's in. And Michael's birthday is on Monday. And he called me 2 times yesterday. And he gave me a message of like 10-4, which I looked up online means, I didn't get to answer the phone, but it means message received, or you got it. And it was so comforting. So anyway, what's the untainted seal? Cruz is Torah. Torah is the truth, right? The life blueprint code of reality, living pattern. Moshe, the leadership, the pure leadership. Congregation of Jews everywhere is the sister-brother purity of the big family. And then there's the beauty of the truth, the subtle harmonic resonance, which is this versus the crude, the physical, the external. It's recycled matter, right? Recombination. Then it's like gateway from the heart to mind to unite the warring ministers. I would say like angels for territory, power, energetically too. Sacrificing everything back to God, who it all belongs to begin with before it was ever given to me. Not relying on any crutch. Even for even practicing for 1 minute, 1 second, trusting to be catched, that everything I need is provided, everyone else too, and will be and always was, and it's related to the freestanding, which is Amidah. It's like a float of I'll practice in a second. Finally, I wrote, the desire to appreciate, care, love, enjoy, and fun, flow, surrender. So I'm going to do a freestanding right now practice prompt before we continue. Took off my shoes. I'm just going to give up with the stand. And face this way. It felt great. I'm glad to share this amazing stuff. What does Torah mean to me? Mothers bring souls as children destined to die, and the Torah, and I know that's heavy, but Torah is the only guide that takes that into account holistically. Timeless, spaceless perspective, bigger than any individual or any set or any circumstances or processes. The genes are lahavdil, like the Torah's code. Lahavdil means to separate. It's not. The genes are the cruder representation of the idea of the Torah's code. It's like a philo expression comparable to the thought, speech, action, and resulting radiation, which is energy, manifestation, alignment. Energy of the learning, right? And the action is like the manifestation, and the speech is like the alignment, or all three. Or I would think about that more. I don't know yet. Energy maybe could be the thought or the alignment, and then the speech could be the manifestation, and then the action could be the energy, like in motion. It could be all different ways. Anyway, feminine receives the masculine. In the Torah, it means the white space and the black letters. So I also feel like there's like the oral Torah, which is in and out, like it comes in and goes out. And then there's the written Torah, which is like branded. So it's a recipe book for causing particular reactions, emulsifications, reactions, colloids, cleanses, or purifications, rightness. The white space, black letters, is like contrastedness of beingness. It's the testament. I understand like people call Old and New Testament. I'm saying it here. Testament to God using human hand to witness transcendental perspectives. That of creation and destruction patterns of history for oneness. And finally, how to live as God would in word and truth and light and life and holy in this physical world. What is the new song I'm singing? This is another prompt from the Nili class. Better to clean up, which is living deeply. Better to clean up my own mess than take others' help, energy, and time that ends up leaving me with more waste to clean up. No longer giving up my love and attention to someone who's pursuing the drug addict for the second time in a month, flirting on my time, inviting her to his place, while claiming to me he's focused on getting a shidduch in order to build friendship with me for the sake of his convenience, for his transition and acclimation. There's a fly here now. Shidduch means soulmate. So I don't know, there was a perception I was having at some point, and this is like probably reliving it when I wrote it, but it wasn't exactly what I'm going through. For example, it's not Michael, it's someone else, but it wasn't even what was happening. Anyway, the next thing I wrote is noticing the drool of someone, the dirty fingers of someone else, the toxic ingesting of someone else. Letting them be silly, fully acceptable, beloved, as me, allowing it to be a chance to give up my attachment, just be grateful for not having to pretend to always be okay with it forever, being okay with it for just right now, something I don't like, for example. So just, what are my observations of the departed's remnant here as an observer? So what are my observations of the departed remnants here as an observer? To connect with that, wow. So we are told that we deserve to feel safe and special, taken care of by a partner. For me, that's a man. For someone else, could be a woman. Community, others, even friends, family. Before we bear our children, really, for the world. Before I bear a child for the world, for some people that's, a business, a new house, or obviously actual child. And of course also it could be a pet, or even a purpose, a nonprofit. So for any of these reasons, I deserve to feel special and safe, taken care of by partner, community, friends, others, family, right? Before I bear this child into the world. So being desired is a natural requirement for intimacy. The main message that we have from the departed remnant is that young, healthy vigor, vitality is here with us now because we're not dead yet. There's also, and that sounds harsh, but it's true, every mother births a child to die. So it's true, we're not dead yet. There's a certain level of boredom, obviously, space and tolerance to have care for someone else. We have to recognize it's handling, not all about me. What can I do or be for them, accommodating their actual needs rather than how I think the world works, is like what has to happen with me first. That's what yichidus is, yichud, what the unity is that like the Baal Shem Tov used to talk about. The Baal Shem Tov, who taught the Maggid, who taught what started the various different lineages of Hasidus, the dynasties of the schools of philosophy that were coherent ways of living in the world with connection to divinity in a pure celestial way. So how to make unity with that, with the source of love, is the most important thing versus just being a convenience for others. So we've got to unite with our experience. Thank you, and I will be probably doing one more video now and then continuing to go get ready for the Sabbath.